The sniper spotted a landmine, but he pretended he didn't know and crossed over. And then the companion behind him stomped on it. Look at the loose hair mines under his feet. He doesn't dare to move at all. He called for help from the sniper. But the sniper pulled out his pistol, threatened him not to do anything, and then slowly back away. After shaking off his companion, who was stealing the credit, the sniper went alone to hunt the American navigator. Meanwhile, the navigator is surrounded by armed men. He didn't hesitate and bolted for his life. The navigator, unfamiliar with the terrain, couldn't shake off the pursuers and was about to get caught. He slipped and fell into a pit, just as the militants caught up. They found a pile of rotting corpses down there. The stench made the armed crew call off the search. The navigator escaped with his life. After climbing out of the pit, he spent the night hiding halfway up the cliff. The next day, he kept moving toward the designated spot. On the way, he passed an old abandoned factory. After making sure there were no enemies around, he moved forward cautiously. He's ready to hurry through. But after a few steps, the navigator noticed something underfoot. It's all enemy booby traps. Just as he was about to give up, the armed men were closing in, so he had no choice but to dodge the booby traps and make a run for it. The enemy behind saw what happened and fired, but accidentally set off a booby trap. The massive shockwave from the explosion set off all the other booby traps. The navigator went all out at the critical moment, made it out of the blast zone safely. By the time the sniper arrived, the navigator has made it to the extraction point. He radioed headquarters. But unexpectedly, the captain told him to run another 5 kilometers to the safest evacuation point for backup. The navigator had no choice but to agree. Luckily, there was a solid rescue plan this time. But just as the captain was laying out the strategy, the NATO commander showed up unexpectedly, handed the rescue mission over to France. The captain had no choice but to follow orders. On the other side, the armed men still hadn't caught the navigator, so he deliberately announced on TV that he had killed 2 pilots who were trespassing in the no-fly zone. The NATO commander fell for it. To avoid conflict, he called off the rescue mission and ordered the helicopter back to base. When the navigator arrived at the evacuation site, just saw the chopper turn around and take off. The navigator quickly fired a shot into the air, shouting his lungs out, but the helicopter didn't turn back. Just when he was ready to give up, he spotted a statue on a distant hill. That's where he landed when he fell. So he immediately went to the top of the hill and found the ejector seat and fixed the positioning transmitter again. When the Nimitz received the signal, the captain immediately knew the navigator was still alive. So he decided to ignore the commander. He decided to lead a rescue mission himself. 3 helicopters took off quickly from the deck. He sped toward the crash site. At the same time, the sniper chasing the navigator also arrived. Through the scope, he didn't spot the navigator. He had no choice but to approach cautiously with my gun ready. But turns out it was a setup. The navigator popped out of the snow and took out the sniper with a few shots, avenging his pilot buddy. But the gunfire also drew the enemy's main force. They attacked the navigator. Critical moment, U.S. military rescue finally arrived. The helicopter's overwhelming firepower from the air inflicted heavy casualties on the militants, while the pilot made a daring leap, grabbed the rescuer's arm and made it back to the chopper.